What's up, everyone? Today, I just want to give you a rundown on how to read a nutritional fact. So, this can be confusing, especially if you shop in the stores and you look at stuff and you don't know what to avoid, what to add more of. So, today, I'm going to show you how to actually read the fact. So, I'm actually put this on a screen right beside me, but I'm reading it from this canister right here. Now understand, this is from oats. These are some rolled oats, so these are more natural. So they will have a little bit more nutrient content compared to some of the other processed foods that's out there. So let's start. First thing first, you'll see the serving size. So how much is actually in this? So it's telling me that it's 13 servings for this container. Then after that, it goes into calorie intake. So calorie intake, some may show your daily value, but that's very general because they don't know your weight. They just basing it on maybe a 2,000 calorie intake type of guideline. So for you, if you want to have make it more specific for you, get your weight multiplied by 10. And that gives you your calorie intake for that day. Now, if you exercising, you do resistance training, you might want to add maybe 500 more calories. So if you're 150 pounds, 1,500 calories per day. But if I'm exercising, that's 2,000 calories. If I'm 200, I need to do 2,000. Then if I'm exercising, add another 500, 2,500. So that just gives me an idea on how much calories I should take per day. So after you pass the calorie section, you'll see your macros. So usually this will be like your fats, your protein, your carbohydrates, and they even break it down to some of them. They might have fiber in there. They might have sodium, which is electrolyte, which is a micronutrient. And also they will put their breakdown of fat. So trans, saturated, poly, mono. And I'm gonna just show you what's the difference. So the fats to avoid is the trans fats. Trans fats and saturated fats. You usually find these in your processed foods. If it's in a container, a bottle, a plastic bag, it's processed. Meaning it's taken from its original state into a process state. It had to go through a process. So although this is more on the natural side because these are just oats, you got to watch out because they add stuff into these processed foods just for taste. So if you can have a low percentage is 5% and low. You'll see that on the daily value side. So the percentage should be 5% and low when it comes to these fats. So avoiding trans fats, saturated fats, if you can have it low, 0%, that's perfect. Now, when it comes to unsaturated fats, these are usually from your whole foods. You'll get these in your apples, your vegetables, your grains, your nuts, the foods that you're supposed to eat. So unsaturated fats are broken into two different types of unsaturated. So these are your poly and your mono. Now, both of those are still pretty good, but you won't see them too much in processed foods. Sorry if you hear that train. It always pop up when I'm doing a video and I'm getting deep into it. All right, so hopefully you can still hear me. But the next one, you'll see carbs. Carbs from processed foods are not the right types of carbs you want to be banking your grams off of. Now, getting up to like, let's say, up to like 60 grams of carbohydrate per meal is ideal, which may seem high if you're doing processed foods. But if you eat whole foods, which is your vegetables, your fruits, your grains, your nuts, your legumes, this is ideal. But if you getting most of your carbs from processed foods, that percentage should be low, especially when it comes to processed food. So after that, you might see like your fiber intake. Fiber intake is your daily fiber is good. Fiber is something that allows your body to produce more of the good bacteria, because only these bacteria can break down fiber. Your body cannot digest fiber, but this bacteria need it to repopulate, and it's good for your gut. Also, it slows down the digesting period, so slows down that glucose that enters into our body. So fiber, if you can have a high percentage of fiber, that's great. 5% and above, so good. Protein, the way to get your daily intake for protein, get your weight, multiply that with 0.36, that should give you your protein intake. Now, if you want to gain muscle weight, add an additional 15 grams, 20 grams to it. It's ideal to at least get 15, 20 grams per meal of protein. But so ideally people will get maybe 50 grams of protein to, on the high side, up to 80 grams. But if you're trying to build muscle mass, you want to just add in that 15 to 20. Then after the protein, usually gets into the micronutrients. These are your vitamins, your minerals, your electrolytes. So all your vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, you want that percentage to be higher. This is a good thing because although it's micro, our bodies need a lot of it. This is the electrical spark to our cells. So especially when it comes to electrolyte, that's where it get its name from. It controls our heart rhythm, pretty much our whole system. So having more of that gives you more energy, helps you fight out so many conditions, help prevent a lot of conditions, and allow your body to function at its highest level. So I miss sugar. So going back to the macro side, if you see sugar, you want that total sugar number to be low. Now, natural sugar and added sugar is different. So usually your fruit-based foods will have a natural sugar to it. But if it's over 20 grams of added sugar, that's too much. That's too much sugar. So you want that, especially when it comes to processed food, keep that sugar intake on the low side. Your best sugar is from your fruits. This is the sugar that comes with the fiber that's in it, from the skin, the flesh of the actual fruit. So avoid the processed foods. But if you gotta read the nutritional facts, this is just the basics on it. I know this is a lot different from other sugary and unhealthy foods, but if you can avoid it, that's the best way to go about it. But if you gotta read it, you gotta know what's in it. So my next video, I'll be talking about some of the ingredients. So stay tuned for that.